Hello and welcome to this special Melbourne Cup Carnival edition of Byrnes Spring Buzz with the Herald Sun's confidential editor, Fiona Byrne. Good afternoon, Fiona.
Good afternoon, Beck.
Now let's start off with Emirartes Melbourne Cup Day. It really was all about Enrique Iglesias. He had the ladies in a spin.
Absolutely. Enrique arrived at the Emirartes Marquee a little bit after 2:30 in the afternoon, but he was also extremely casually dressed. Enrique arrived wearing jeans, a t-shirt, a white shirt over the top and just a cap. I asked him about his cap and he said, well, he was told to wear a hat to the races, so that was his reasoning for that. They actually were concerned, his minders were concerned that he might not get through the members' gate because of his rather sloppy attire, and so they in fact brought him in through the catering entrance to make sure there were no issues with his dress. Once inside, he just took the place by storm. He was a fabulously charming guest, lots of photos with lots of fans in here, and he's going to be heading back to our shores in June next year for an Australian tour.
Now, Tina Arena, she put on a very special performance in the Emirartes Marquee, I hear.
Yes, Tina was one of the guests in that marquee. She was only expected to do one song, but in fact got up on stage and they couldn't get her off. She did 4 songs and completely rocked the marquee. Great fun, fabulous entertainment. Everyone loved it.
And the Edelstons, tell me about their outfits.
Well, without question, Jeffrey and Bryn Edelston were the hardest couple to miss in the birdcage on Cup Day. Jeffrey was absolutely like a ball of shining light wandering around in a bright, shiny yellow suit. And Bryn had a headpiece that she'd made herself, a feathered headpiece that honestly made her look about 8 feet tall. They were a startling couple to have wandering among the social set.
Now, Crown Oaks Day really was about the ladies, and Jerry Hall and Georgia Jagger really just set the place on fire.
Absolutely. They arrived at the Myer Marquee, did a photo call, and then they moved to the Myer Fashions on the field enclosure where they were judges of the national final. They were very, very impressed with what they saw among the standard of entrance. I must say they were both wearing imported designers. They were wearing Vivienne Westwood pieces, not Australian designers. Jerry was actually accompanied by her Australian boyfriend, Warwick Hemsley. He's a property developer from Perth, and he certainly seems to have stolen her heart. The pair of them walked arm in arm up through the crowd and then went into the mounting yard, which is where they watched the running of the Crown Oaks from, before heading upstairs to the committee room where they joined guests to have a few drinks and to mingle. Georgia, their daughter, who's only 18 years old, she actually had some bets while she was here during the day and won. She was very, very taken with her day at the races.
Now, another guest who was having a good old punt was the gorgeous Jessica Hart. Tell us about what she had to say.
Myer ambassador Jessica Hart, she looked amazing in a Wayne by Wayne Cooper gown. She was so keen to have a bet. She actually came here today not wanting to have a wager, had a little flutter on the first race, won some money, and then she was off and running for the rest of the day. She's put a few dollars in her pocket after backing the winner of the Crown Oaks. I think we have a punter on our hands now, I'm afraid.
And what about Carmen Electra? Was she having a punt in the Emirartes Marquee?
No, but Carmen was having a dance. Carmen had a little roped off area and they couldn't get her off the dance floor. She was grooving away there. And then later in the afternoon decided to go for a totter, literally a totter, because she was wearing the highest heels you've ever seen in your life around the birdcage. She was moving very carefully.
Now, Emirartes Stakes Day is the final day of the Melbourne Cup Carnival. Who's going to be out here then?
Emirartes Stakes Day is traditionally family day. Lots of families, lots of fun for kids. And speaking of youngsters, Jessica Watson, a young teenage solo sailor, she's going to be here. She's one to look out for.
Well, that's all we have time for this edition of Byrnes Spring Buzz. We'll see you next time.